My long-awaited book, Astrology Realized, is finally available and waiting for you at Amazon and other online retailers. Get one for you, your loved one, or as a gift. All part of your fabulous journey to understanding astrology. Enjoy. Hello, fabulous friends and fans. I am your host, Nadia Shaw, and this is Synchronicity, and this is your moment of synchronicity. I am here with Heather Roan Robbins. Now, I met Heather last night, actually, because we're at this conference, NCGR in Philly, summer of 2013. So this whole series where you see me sort of wearing this and this in the background, it's all done at the same weekend. And with Heather, I met her last night, late last night, and in a short conversation, she just impressed me and illuminated me so much, not only with all the different things she does for astrology, but also with her insight, her wisdom, her understanding. And I didn't even have to show her my chart. I could just name a few things, and she just blew me away. And I said, you have to be on my show. So thank you for being here.
Well, I'm so glad to be here. I've been doing astrology for 40 years. It's a childhood love. So it's very easy when I'm good at air math, putting the chart up in my mind and seeing it from there. And thank you for opening yourself to me, because whenever anybody lets you look at their chart, they're letting you into their life and their heart and their soul, and it takes a lot of trust. So I really appreciate it, because it also lets you cut through the party bullcrap and go right to being real with somebody, because you go right to their real issues and their joy and their beauty. So thank you.
And it was so amazing because you created this safe space. We were in a crowded room with lots of people and lots of alcohol, lots of loud conversations and music and stuff. And
great party.
And you created this safe space just between you and I. So I can only imagine how it is with all the other things that you do. So tell my audience all the other things that you do for astrology as part of astrology.
Well, I'm the president of the NCGR chapter in Minnesota now. I used to be part of the professional astrology group in New Mexico, where I still go down and work on a regular basis. I have a regular radio piece. I do a radio blog talk called Access Astrology. You can go to Blog Talk Radio with two other astrologers. We talk every week about the week ahead. I write a column called Starcodes which looks at the astrological weather, so you can learn to dance with it. It's not by sign, but it's by day, so you can read it, and as astrologers, non-astrologers sort of bleep out the technical information like you would a Russian name in a novel that you can't quite pronounce, but astrologers have that information to look at what's going on in the astrological weather, feel it in themselves, see how they're interpreting it differently. You know, we say it's nice to know the rain's falling, but the farmer feels one way about the rain, but the person planning a picnic feels another. So how do you work with these transits every day? And to me, that's one. And how do the headlines work with that every day? I've been doing this for 20 years, predicting what's going to happen the week ahead and what's going to happen the year ahead, because I write for wemoon calendar, the yearly overview, and then seeing what actually happens. And that corrects my understanding of the planet and helps me expand my understanding and all the possibilities, because that's where the real power and the empowerment of astrology comes in, is when you know all the possibilities, you have choice. Astrology never takes free will away. It gives us more room to work with the transits. We can't choose our transits, but we can choose how we respond to them. And I think that's the power that we give ourselves when we work with it, and our clients when we're working with them.
And it's interesting because you just said, like, we don't control the transits that visit our chart, but how we respond to them. And I thought about how every planet, every aspect represents an archetype, but there's this huge spectrum within that archetype, and that's where we have a tremendous amount of choice.
We talk about that with the planet Venus, which sounds lovely, but most of the crimes of passion in the world have been some of the worst and most terrible times we go through are tough aspects to our Venus, because our heart is on fire. It hurts. So we can use the positive side of Venus. You know, we can go back to her mythology, and every planet, it's the one planet that has a female myth with it. all around the globe in every nationality I've been able to find. I mean, she has fierce aspects, she has loving aspects, but it's always female. Mars is always male. Every other planet has multi-gendered mythologies depending upon what country you're in. So these two, with Venus, we see that the gift that she brings is the medicine for the trouble she brings. You know, Venus gave us all the arts and love and affection and creativity, and that is the cure for the heart soreness and the pain and the wounding that we can go through under a tough Venus aspect. So that's where I see the power coming through. I also worked for many years as the staff astrologer for some family therapists, and they oversaw my work. We would go back 3 or 4 generations and look at what was going on in the planets and what was going on in the family patterns, what an adopted child brought in, and got to watch that unfold over time. And I'm also an interfaith minister, so I do ceremony and counseling with my clients as well. Yeah, it adds to it.
Yes, your energy is very spiritual. Definitely, you can see that in your presence, but also in your interpretations. So, what is it that inspired your journey in astrology? What is most rewarding about being an astrologer?
Walking with people through their experience and helping them unfold their potential is the gift to me. But what I see in the great joy, it's my spiritual path, and it is the language of interconnection. It's the language that, when we watch these symbol systems, connects our everyday experience, how we stub our toe, what clothes we choose to put on, how we interact with each other, our relationships, our politics, events unfolding, our metaphysics, our spiritual path and evolution. They all have the same language, the same symbolic patterning, and we can learn from that and work with it.
Thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to share with the audience out there?
Say, the more you work with astrology, the more fascinating it is. I've never met anybody who studied it and became less interested, because it reveals so much. Let it encourage you with hope at the interconnectedness of all sentient beings, of all the solar system and of all the universe. Let it fascinate you, and let it be a curiosity. Look at the calendar and see how the world reflects back to you the transits. Let the world teach you about astrology.
Thank you so much, Heather. You have a very special way of putting things together and expressing astrology. Thank you.
Oh, my great pleasure.
And thank you so much for being here to celebrate Heather Roan Robbins with me. Until we connect again, take care.